So, is there evidence of abundance in your experience other than money? And we know money is flowing. You want it to come in an easier way, and we want it to come in all kinds of ways to you. Is there abundance that is coming to you other than the abundance of dollars that you are speaking of?
Absolutely. I have good relationships in my life.
So focus specifically on the idea of abundance of good things, and just speak softly and confidently to us about it.
Help me out some more.
There is an abundance of sweet smelling air around this planet. And every time Esther comes into a new city, the first thing she does as she steps out into the atmosphere is she takes it in with appreciation and notices the differences of it. Dry air is different than more humid air, and sometimes there are sweet fragrances. There is atmosphere in the air that she can sense and smell. But she never stops appreciating this really high quality, good feeling, really important to her experience, abundance of air. It's just something that's always there, but she never takes for granted because there's something so nurturing about it. The abundance of beautiful buildings, beautiful rooms like this one. The abundance of beautiful people and relationships. The abundance of never-ending questions and therefore never-ending answers. The abundance of food. The abundance of well-being. The abundance of highways and waterways and conveyances and people to help her along her way. Abundance everywhere she looks. Abundance of people standing in places, doing things that she doesn't want to do, but it's at a vibrational place for them that they are finding satisfaction from it. And so abundance of people, of traffic directors and people who build the roads, and abundance of all things that make for this world, abundance of all of that. And you just can't focus like that for very long without beginning to feel blessed, without beginning to acknowledge your worthiness. Abundance of good timing, abundance of well-wishers, abundance of people doing good jobs, abundance of people being joyful, abundance of people helping out in all kinds of different ways. There's just such an abundance of connectivity and networking and well-being. Now, there was not resistance within any of you as we focused there. That's abundance, and those kinds of conversations hold you in a vibration that allows the abundance that you've asked for and the abundance that's been gestating in your own vortex to show itself to you in other ways. And because we stayed off the subject of currency or credit or cash, then any habit of thought or belief that you have about that was not activated during this conversation. So your abundance vibration was enhanced by a conversation like this. You're in a different vibrational place. And you can tell that feeling of trust comes because it wasn't a satisfying conversation to some extent. Weren't those words satisfying? And didn't you resonate with them? Don't you feel that too? Mm-hmm. And so you stayed off the subject that activates resistance and focused on subjects that activate what you're wanting. Practice the vibration of desire, and your point of attraction has shifted from just that much focus. That's what you do. And then, because now your point of attraction is shifted, everything's going to shift. You're going to meet nicer people. Air's going to smell better everywhere you go. More money's going to flow more easily into your experience. And as you make the association between the manifestations that will happen and the conversation that you just deliberately projected, then you come to trust. Trust in your ability to let it in. Because it's trusting in your reception that is all that is necessary here. You're asking and it is answered. In other words, it's a done deal. And the abundance, if you could see the abundance that is gathered up in your vortex, you don't have time to spend all of the abundance that you have gathered that is flowing to you. In time, we will have seminars on de-manifestation. It'll be a burden, all the money you're carrying around for those pillows. What's in the bag? pillow stuff. What do you mean? I'm going to leave it under the pillow.
Yes.
Seems like a lot. It is. I started out with $100 bills, but it just got out of hand.
Yes.
We're not kidding you. Whatever you ask for has come. You just have to figure out how to let it in. And that feeling of fear, or that feeling of concern, or that feeling of worry, or that feeling of overwhelmment, or that feeling of injustice, or that feeling of being in a box, that feeling of being in a box, that feeling of paying too big of a price for the abundance that comes. You got to keep that poop to value in balance. You do. You got to keep your desires and your beliefs in balance in order for you to receive all that you have accomplished vibrationally. Helpful?
Yes.
So now talk to us a little more specifically about abundance. Let's see if we moved your energy enough that we can feel a difference in your vibration. So now talk to us a little more specifically, sort of what you intended as you sat down.
So my goal was to expand and trust in my ability to expand.
So you believe in the universe, you believe in law of attraction, you believe abundance is coming, you believe abundance is in your vortex. Do you believe that you're more ready to receive it?
Yes.
So give us some conversation that indicates that readiness to receive.
Well, some things that came to mind as you spoke about the things to focus on. I focused on the minutia of don't
do that. Don't do that. Focus on the things that are the easiest. Talk to us about the ease of dollars flowing. Talk to us about the surprise and delight of dollars flowing. Talk to us about a new idea coming and knowing that's a good one. Talk about an anticipatory feeling. I can feel that things are coming. Can't see it yet. Don't know exactly how it's going to be there, but I can feel it coming. I feel anticipation. I'm feeling an eagerness. I'm feeling a sort of relief of stress. I'm feeling eager about where I am, satisfied with where I am, and an eagerness for it to even be better and better and better. Now we're talking more specifically about money, but still there's no resistance in the conversation. Can you feel it?
In my gut, I do. There's still, when it comes to money, there's hell no, ain't gonna happen. And I gotta get beyond this. I want to get beyond it.
That feeling will stay there unless you focus on something where that feeling isn't. See, this is the thing that we want you to understand. So if you focus there and it feels like that, just like if you take a drug that makes you sick, stop taking it. If you eat something and your face swells up, don't eat it again. Let your guidance be your guidance. And so if that conversation doesn't feel good, as you say, I can feel it in my gut, then stay away from it. Because the way it sits in your vibration, it's not helpful to keep it active. And you don't have to change it, just don't keep it active. Because if it's not active, it won't be a resistant player. Anything that's not active won't hold anything that you want away from you. So just get more general, more gentle. So can you say that I believe that good things are coming without getting that feeling in your gut?
Yes. There's a hopefulness.
So how far can you go before the feeling comes?
To work on Monday.
So as long as you're not in that cubicle, you don't get that feeling in your gut?
No.
That's not true. You just got it and you're not there. You're not there.
Busted.
It's not about where you are. It's about how you think and how you feel about where you are. And so what's the whole point of that organization anyway? What do you do there?
I help people buy homes, and I'm a renter myself, but I teach home buyer education. It's an organization, it's a community action agency.
And so, is it fun?
It's wonderful people, and I love helping people, but there's a thing about money that I really want.
And how are the majority of the people who are coming in? Are they bouncing off the walls in enthusiasm about the money that's flowing into
No,
their
they're
experience?
struggling financially.
So you're dealing with struggling people all day long?
Yes.
Are you sure it's the box that's bothering you?
I guess it's the whole big package.
So if you were to be asked to give a sentence or two that describes what you do and how you feel about it, what would that be? When I go to work, this is what I do. I counsel people that don't believe. But then does somebody slip money under their pillow?
Not yet.
So you don't have a big boatload of money that you get to decide who gets it?
No.
Oh, so you don't...
Well, sort of, kind of. We have
How
some
does that
funds.
work? Oh, you have some fun.
So my goal is to try to help them.
Help
if
them.
they're struggling enough, that we might be able to help them get some money.
So they have to really be big-time strugglers before you can help them.
Yes, it takes a struggle to be able to have it.
So if they're just moderately struggling, out.
Right. Absolutely.
So they come and they plead a really needy case.
Right.
And if their needy case is really, really strong, then you eke out some money to them.
And some make just a little bit too much. It's like, sorry, I can't help you.
Go screaming into the woods as fast as you can. You can't get there from there.
Okay.
If that's the criteria by which the help comes, and a lot of people look at it like that. In other words, if they can plead a needy case, then they expect somebody else who's figured out how to let abundance come to them to give some of the abundance that's come to them easily to give to them. And so that's why people try so hard to explain how difficult it is, not even realizing that with every word they utter about their problems and their struggles, they shut down the universal flow that's flowing to them just like it's flowing to everybody else. But then they have to stand in that begging mode in order to get it. No wonder it feels like struggle for dollars to flow. Those kind of dollars are way too hard. Way too hard. You see,
yes.
You don't want to plead a needy case to the universe. You want to make your statements of appreciation. You want to make your statements of abundance. You want to get your abundance juices flowing because the universe is yielding to you. You see, this is the reason that the conversation of turning thoughts to things is such an exhilarating conversation to us, because most of our physical friends don't get it, that you're turning thoughts to things. You think that what you're doing is pleading your needy case so that others somehow, some way, have turned their thoughts to things, will now give you the things that they've turned their thoughts to. Only most people don't think it that far. They don't really know how anybody got their money. They just know that they don't have it, and so they're just wanting it to come to them, and they're feeling the injustice of it having not come to them yet. You cannot be needy and receive what you are wanting at the same time. They are very different vibrational frequencies, you see. You have to feel abundance before it comes. So while you might want $100 or $200 or $300 or $400 or $500,000 to flow easily into your experience right away, it's not going to happen today. It isn't going to come right now, this red hot minute, but you could find the feeling of abundance within 5 or 10 minutes. You could accomplish the vibrational shift, and if you've accomplished the vibrational shift, then you've opened your passageway to the next idea and the next and the next and the next and the next and the next, you see. This is what we would like you to reach the place of saying to those who come to see if they can eke a little help out from you. We'd like you to practice your own understanding of what we're teaching here until you could deliver this message to the next 10 people who walk in the door to see you. You know, this is one way of getting money, but it's the hardest way I know. Because in order for you to get any assistance here, you've got to mess up your vibrational point of attraction so badly that the best that can come to you here is true mediocrity. You're never going to find thriving, and you're never going to find abundance here. Personally, I wouldn't do it, because you got to be so needy. Here's the chart. Are you here? Then you got to go. Are you here? Then you got to go. Are you here? Get out. Are you here? Oh, let's talk. And so you're asking for help from this place where there's just puny, paltry help, when there's this plethora of abundance that would flow to you if you were in a different vibrational place. Now, mostly they're not going to hear that, but you are.
Yes.
You can hear that.
Yes.
See. Do you believe that the world is awash in money? It is. Do you wonder why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer?
Yes.
Do you wonder why the better it gets, and worse it gets, and worse it gets? In other words, it's a vibrational thing. It's the fairness of law of attraction that you can always trust. Law of attraction will never deceive you. It will never trick you. You always get how you feel. You always get exactly what represents how you feel. Always, always, always. It cannot be otherwise, you see. So you've got to find some way of shifting the way you feel. And this is a difficult thing.